let's multiply mixed numbers. Let's go over the steps for multiplying fractions first. Okay, so our first step is that you must have two fractions. So you may need to place a 1 under a whole number, or you may need to change a mixed number to an improper fraction so that you have the two fractions. Second step is you're going to crisscross simplify and multiply. And the third step is you're going to simplify if needed. So let's look here at our first example, and that's a 2, that's not a 21. So we have 2 wholes times 4 and 3/4. So first we have to have the two fractions, and we don't. We have a whole and we have a mixed number. So we're going to place a 1 under the whole 2, so it will be 2 over 1, and then we're going to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. So we have 4 wholes and 3/4. So we're going to take that 4 and we're going to multiply that whole times your denominator. So 4 times the 4 will give me 16. Then we're going to add the numerator to it. So 16 plus the 3 gives me 19. And then we're going to put the 4 underneath it. So 19/4. Step 2, we're going to crisscross simplify. And the reason we do this here is just because it's easier to do it now instead of at the end of the problem. So let's look here. When we crisscross simplify, we're going to look at the 2 and crisscross to the 4. So let's look at the 2 and 4. What can both of those be divided by? Well, they're even, so they can both be divided by 2. So we're going to do the same thing to this numerator as we do to the 4. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 equals 2. Okay, let's look at the 1 and the 19. Can those both be divided by something other than 1? No. So those are okay. So this 2 is going to become the 1. This 4 is going to become the 2. So we have 1 over 1 times 19 over 2. So now we can multiply. 1 times 19 is 19. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, so step 3, it wants you to simplify. So we have an improper fraction with that 19 over 2. So now we're going to simplify. Remember how to simplify an improper fraction? Well, you make it into a division problem. So you've got 19 divided by 2. Bottom dog goes outside the house. Top dog goes inside the house. Can 2 go into 1? No. Can 2 go into 19? Yes. How many times can 2 go into 19? Well, it can go 9 times. 9 times 2, 18. Subtract, bring down. Well, there's nothing to bring down. So our answer is 9 wholes. Remember, the wholes get to sit on top of the house. Left over goes over my denominator. So my answer is 9 1/2. All right, so let's look here and let's find the value of each of these products. So remember, step 1 was we had to have two fractions, and we don't on this first one here. So we have a whole and a fraction here. So let's look here. We need to put a 1 under here to make that a fraction. Okay, then we're going to step 2, crisscross simplify. So let's look at the 6, crisscross to the 8. Can 6 and 8 both be divided by something? Yes, because they're even, they both can be divided by 2. So we're going to do the same to both. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now we've got 3 over 1 times 3 over 4. So now I can multiply. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. Step 3 is simplify. We have an improper fraction here, so we take out and make it division problem. 9 divided by 4. Bottom dog goes outside the house, top dog goes in the house. Can 4 go into 9? Yes. How many times? 2. Multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. Subtract. Bring down. Nothing to bring down. So our answer would be holes get to sit on top of the house. 2 left over. 1 over denominator. So our answer is 2 and 1/4. Okay, let's look at our next one. We need 2 fractions. We don't have one. We have a whole and we have mixed number. So put a 1 under the 6. Then we need to take the mixed number and make it improper. So whole times denominator. 2 times 8 is 16 plus 3. 16 plus 3 is 19. So I have 6 over 1 times 19 over 8. Okay, step 2, Criss-Cross Simplify. Let's look at our 6 and our 8. Can those both be divided by something? Yes, they can be divided by 2 because they're even. We're going to do the same thing to both. 6 divided by 2, 3. 8 divided by 2, 4. What about the 1 and the 19? Can those both be divided by something other than 1? No. Okay, so I've got 3 over 1 times the 19 over 4. 3 times 19. Well, let's do that up here vertically. Okay, 3 gets to jump up to the 1's place to multiply first. 9 times 3, 27. 2 has to go over to the 10's house. Now the 3 has to go to the 10's to multiply. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 2 is 5. So 3 times 19 is 57. Now 1 times 4 is 4. Step 3, we're going to simplify because this is improper. 57 divided by 4. Bottom dog outside the house, top dog inside the house. Can 4 go into 5? How many times? 1 time. Multiply. 1 times 4, 4. Subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. Bring down. Goes into. How many times will 4 go into 17? 4 times. Multiply. 4 times 4, 16. Subtract. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down. Nothing to bring down. So my answer is 14 holes. Sits on top of the house. Left over my denominator. So my answer is 14 and 1/4. Okay, next one. I need two fractions for step 1, and I only have this fraction here, so I need to put a 1 under my whole. Now I have 7 over 1 times 9 over 10. Step 2, crisscross simplify. So I'm going to look at my 7 and my 10. Is there anything that I can divide both of those by? No. What about the 1 and the 9? Anything I can divide both of those by? No. So I can go ahead and go to 7 times 9, 63. 1 times 10, 10. Okay, now I'm going to simplify because it's improper. 63 divided by 10. Bottom dog outside the house, top dog inside the house. Can 10 go into 6? No. Can 10 go into 63? Yes. How many times? 6 times. Multiply. 6 times 10, 60. Subtract. 3 minus 0 is 3. 6 minus 6 is 0, so I don't have to put it. Bring down. Nothing to bring down. So my answer is, remember, the whole sits on top of the house. 6 left over is over my denominator. So my answer is 6 3/10. Okay, last one. First step, I need two fractions, but I don't have two fractions. So I need to put a 1 under this whole. This one is a mixed number, so it needs to be changed to improper. So we multiply the whole times our denominator. 3 times 10 is 30, plus the numerator is 39. So I've got 7 times 1, or 7 over 1 times 39 over the 10. Okay, second step, crisscross simplify. Okay, so we're going to look at our 7 and our 10. Can anything be divided by the 7 and the 10? No. What about the 1 and the 39? No. So I can go ahead and multiply 7 times 39. Let's work that out here vertically. 7 gets to jump up here to the 1's place. 7 times the 9, 63. 6 has to go to the 10's house. Now the 7 can jump to the 10's and multiply. 7 times 3 is 21, plus the 6, 273. Now I can multiply this. 1 times the 10 is 10. Now I have an improper fraction that needs to be simplified. 273 divided by 10. Bottom dog outside the house, top dog inside the house. Can 10 go into 2? No. Can 10 go into 27? Yes. How many times? 2 times. Multiply. 2 times 10 is 20. Subtract. 7 minus 0 is 7. 2 minus 2 is 0, so I don't have to put it. Bring down. Can now goes into. Can 10 go into 73? Yes. How many times? 7 times. Multiply. 7 times 10 is 70. I'll have to put that over here. Subtract. And there's nothing to bring down. So my answer is whole sits on the top of the house. Left over my denominator. So my answer is 27 3/10.